One of the last set of points I want to talk about is the process of interpretation, most of which I have mentioned in the course of today. The first is what? Observation. The second is interpretation. And the third is application. What is observation? I've said it before. Often you open the Bible and you are not necessarily seeing what is in the text. That happens a lot when it comes to prepositions, when it comes to verbs or conjunctions. We miss words when we are reading the Bible. Sometimes it may be as a result of a preconceived notion. Sometimes we're just careless about it. But observation is the first thing to underscore if we want to rightly divide the word of truth. We need to observe every word in Scripture. Like I said, words matter. God doesn't waste words. Every word is important to God. Every conjunction is important to God. Every preposition is important to God. Every verb, whether it's in a passive tense, in the active sense, everything that God says makes a whole lot of sense. And it behoves on us to be able to observe when we read the text. Another thing about the process of interpretation is the core interpretation itself. Like I mentioned earlier, understanding how to deploy the historical and grammatical method of interpretation, reading words in context of the recipient, in context of the author that is writing, and in the context of the culture that that word is seen. So that is how to read and interpret and to engage the Scripture. The last process in interpretation is what I call application. Application is very important. The first thing I said, remember, the first principle of interpretation is one interpretation, several application. The truth be told, if you do not understand the interpretation of Scripture, most likely your application will be flawed. Application matters a lot, and one of the very common mistakes in application is that we read the Bible and we apply the Bible directly to ourselves. You cannot apply Scripture directly to yourself. In fact, the Bible is not written to you, it's written for you. Now, if it's written to you, then it's easy to apply directly to yourself. But the Bible is not written to us. It's not written to any one of us, because we were not there when the Bible was written. We were not there when those books were written. We do not speak the language, most of us do not speak the language of the people to which the Scripture was initially written to. We were 2 millennia as it were, or more, even apart from the time of those words being written. And the people that were writing those scriptures did not even think or consider that someone in Africa or someone in Nigeria like I am would be reading what he is writing or what he is writing. So clearly the Bible is not written to you. The Bible is written for us. Romans chapter 15. Verse 4, it says, all things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through the patience and comfort of Scripture may have hope. So it is clear that the Scriptures is written for us. And because it's written for us, we first have to understand what it meant for those it was written to, before we can now apply it for us who live at a different time with a different culture, and definitely with a different language. So application matters. But application can only make sense if we understand interpretation.